What's up guys, it's your boy Burning Gamer here with a different video this time. I was planning on making a Minecraft Let's Play today, but instead this thing decided to be a little jerk-face and just record my screen, just the web page or the whatever the background, not the game itself. Figured out what the problem was. Turned out I needed it windowed. I didn't know this, I had it at full screen. So anyways, this is basically going to be a tour of my creative, I'd say, fantasy world. And what you're looking at is the city of Anhalt, which is the dwarven city. So I thought this is a really cool build I've done. And I apologize for any lag. Ain't my fault, it's really just this. Sometimes Minecraft does it. So here's the city hall, or the counselor. This is where the High King, or not the High King, but the Dwarven King lays with his Dwarven Queen. This would be the mining investigation room, which basically is the room strategizing on mining ores and all that, finding ore veins, locating them, and all that. This is the embassy, where other races will come together, like the swamp elves and not even the humans yet, because this is just like the early part of my world. There's no other civilizations yet, but there is a mysterious civilization I'd like to prove later after I show the swamp elves. So right now the dwarves only know the swamp elves, and so they'll come together and conference about like the diplomatic and issues they have and how they can resolve them. Here is the living quarters of the king and queen. Not too shabby, ain't it? And here is a little waterfall coming from the surface world, as the dwarves call them. And after the surface world was discovered by a dwarven engineer, well, not an engineer, but an explorer. Basically, they found the little hole in the water where it leads down, put little bricks to mark it. And I'm basically just making up lore for this world. I like to make up lore, obviously. So there was a little aqueduct that was built, and a little pool for drinking water for the city. And then no bathing. This is bathing prohibited. I mean, would you want to drink bath water? I wouldn't. Oh, by the way, there are residences here. You see there's individual families and stuff. I'm just making a mess going through here. So you got little residences and houses. And these are the iron golems that obviously protect the citizens and so forth. And on the other side of the ravine, or on Anhalt, you got the military quarters. Considering the fact that after the swamp elves were discovered at the surface, in case they didn't do anything stupid, they're gonna need like a garrison unit. So that's what they're for. And here's a nice little resident over here too. Now we go down a level. This is considered the bottom level right here. And here we have a whole bunch of farmers, and this is basically an adventurers guild. This is where like adventurers meet. I'm sorry for calling it farmers guild. My silly little brain went through. But this is, I'm pretty sure that is the Adventurers Guild, where adventurers would come together and plan their expeditions down here. It's basically like a tavern, basically. Here we have a nice little farm running off of the bath. Not the bath. I just said bathing prohibited, and I call it a bath. Wonderful, right? Yeah, anyways, from the drinking water, it'll come down here. and grow these crops. And obviously, iron golems are trampling the crops, which I'm gonna have to fix later. This is the miner's residence. This is basically the poor of the poor. They're almost homeless and nobody wants to live here whatsoever. Just nobody wants to live here. And where they work at these little crystal mines. I'm not going to call them diamonds because diamond seems way too generic for me. So I'm going to call it aetheryte crystals. They would mine these little crystals called aetheryte, which is all over the place over here. And it was such a hard crystal that they had to build the aetheryte forge. And I hope you guys kind of get the reference of where I got these inspirations from. But they had to build a forge that would be able to smelt these crystals. Just for like lore reasons, basically. Basically, it's a cool forge I added. That is my tour of Anthor, I think I called it. Basically, there's a stairwell that goes up here, goes through a cave, out into the surface world. The swamp bells will be located over here past these little mountains. Starting to lose my voice here. I was talking for 30 minutes trying to make a freaking video. So here's the swamp bells. Okay, the swamp bells they don't look like that. They don't look like that either. Okay? What's going on here? Why is this not generating correctly? There. So here's a nice little farm that was built. I gotta show you this little river I created. Why do I have ringing in my ear? Okay, never mind. Here's a little farmhouse, silo, this and that. You go over here, here's the main city. Here's a shipbuilding yard I built, where the ships can be built. They're like fishing boats. There's one fishing boat out here. This one is another one. I might add another military vessel outside. I don't know why this is not loading correctly. It's annoying me. Can you guys get the idea of what this is supposed to be? There we go. So here we have nice little residences. The roofs are made of leaves and all that. Here's an inn. There's the innkeeper right there. There's all the nice little beds. And here's the temple of the water god. They believe in the water god, obviously, because they're surrounded in water. And they have a nice little blue window pane here. Last building, but not least building, we have the hall, the emperor hall, not the emperor hall, the king's little hall. Unfortunately, technologically, the swamp elves are inferior towards the dwarves, so they don't have much of they don't have a developed counseling system. It's just a whole bunch of guys, a king and a queen, talking. It's basically the citizens and the king and queen talking about the problems, and that's how they're solved. Now, in these mountain ranges is a mysterious race that no one knows about yet. And later, when I start building up this world, they're going to turn out to be raiders going down this river. Basically like Vikings. And they'll end up being like Vikings. But this is the River Ilanata I created. And it basically goes all the way through here. And you got the little rapids going up and down. Not up and down, but down. And this is annoying. There we go, got more rapids going over here. The river's thinning out. And it actually comes from this source right here. But there's just so much water flowing down, I decided to add not a missing chunk, but more of the river. And there's also runoff coming up here too. Stop annoying me, missing chunks. This basically turns into Lake Ilinata. I don't know why I called it Ilinata this time. It's supposed to be Ilinata, but I have a really slow brain. What do you expect? So, you got this, and then you go through this cave system, right? The water just gets heavier and heavier. And it gets heavier, you can already hear villagers. But it originates from this source, but in fact it comes up through this hole, goes up, and it comes from the top of this mountain. And here we are. Here's the human village. You can already see the palisades blocking the annoying chunk, the missing chunks. And you have yourself the human village, which I thought was pretty cool building myself, because I'm such a big time waster. In fact, I'm thinking about wasting my time even more later on by watching YouTube. Of course, not watching my own videos. But here's the sawmill, and this is supposed to be the wood chipper that like cuts the wood, shaves it basically. I just say cuts it up. I really would want it to go the other way, but the way Minecraft works, it just goes this way. So that said, here's a house, a nice house, and here's another house. Actually, this isn't even a house. This is like an inn. This is like a giant inn, basically, but it's not really an inn. It's like for people that tend to, it's basically an inn. I can't explain it anymore. Then over here you got another house, which is nice. It's basically a small little village of humans. And before I go down there in the mine, I want to show you the longhouse. Here's the longhouse, here's the High King. And here's the quarters. You see there's a nice window, and it looks out into the other hills and mountains out there, which I thought was pretty cool. And I got this idea from just watching videos. I don't remember who I got it from, but I thought it would be cool to build it myself. So I did it. So you go down to this mine. This is a really cool mine I decided to build. In fact, the humans down here have to be really strong to carry iron up their back climbing this ladder. They have to be really strong. In fact, they can't really live up there, so they have their little quarters down here. And you got the coal, the iron, a lag spike, that was unexpected. But yeah, here's the iron that I decided to build. I thought it was cool. So, this is my world tour so far. Thinking of adding another civilization, maybe expanding a village or two. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe and all that. Don't care what you do. And as always, stay flaming.